as we make the world go away. Steady Arnold. Thank you. So that game get up here.
No, that was not Eddie Arnold. This is Frank and Galen. I think that was Frank, and I think this is Galen. And it's May 6th, 2016. It's about 17 minutes after 9, and it's just a few minutes. They'll be having their opening ceremonies, but before that happens, they're doing a little entertaining. We'll listen and then get ready for the grand opening.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched next year. All right, I'd like to introduce Kevin Colleen. He's also Patty's husband, director at the YMCA, and he is going to give us our invocation.
So you never know what's going to happen at the senior celebration. 5 years ago today, I met my wife Patty here at the senior celebration. So at my age, that's where you go to pick up chicks. And by the way, ladies, for crying out loud, Ross Bouye told me he's tired of being treated like a piece of meat. At any rate, let's pray for a great day. We thank you, Lord, for this time together, time to learn, maybe plan a little better for the rest of our lives, for entertainment, and for food, and for, by all means, for the free stuff. Amen.
Thank you, Kevin. We appreciate that. Can everybody hear me okay? Yes? Walkers, can you hear me okay? Am I good back there? A little louder? Is that better? Okay. I'm going to make my voice a little deeper so you can hear me. This year we have 2 gold sponsors. This day would not be possible without our sponsors. I'd like to recognize them. We have the Champlain Valley Senior Community Assisted Living and Memory Care Center. They're straight back. We thank you very much. I appreciate your support. And also Pine Harbor Assisted Living Facility is over in my left-hand corner. We appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Please give them a round of applause. We are fortunate enough to have 3 bronze sponsors for this event. New York State Electric and Gas. They're right over here. Please raise your hand. Please thank them. We appreciate their support. They traveled a great distance to be here, and we appreciate it very much. Thank you. HCR Home Care. They are also a bronze sponsor for this event. Would you please give a wave? They're back in the corner. I think they're taking blood pressures. If you have not visited their booth, please do so. Thank you. And also United Healthcare is a supporter, as a bronze sponsor for this event, and we very much appreciate them. Give them a round of applause, please. Did everyone enjoy their breakfast this morning? Yes, absolutely. We want to recognize and thank again Walker's Funeral Home. We appreciate that. They bought everyone breakfast this morning, and we very much appreciate that. Thank you very much, very generous. We would also like to give a Western shout out to our breakfast attendants. They have been working since we opened this morning. They are Plattsburgh State students, and they're studying human development and family relations, so please give them a round of applause. They have been catering to us, and we appreciate that very much. We also are fortunate enough to have several participation sponsors, so I'd like to call them out. Vendors, if you kindly raise your hand to let folks know where you are, that would be greatly appreciated. We have Brown Funeral Home here today. Thank you very much. We have Eye Care for the Adirondacks here. I believe they're over on this side. Thank you for being one of our sponsors. We appreciate that. Mara's Home Care is also here. Meadowbrook Healthcare is here. Victory Place is one of our participation sponsors. Walker Funeral Home, as you know, is here. Heald Funeral Home is also here. They're over on this side. Tri-Lakes Home Medical is right down here. We have CVPH Wellness is here as well. And Essex Center for Rehabilitation and Healthcare. And also Plattsburgh Rehabilitation and Nursing Center. They are formerly known as Evergreen Valley Nursing Home. Please give them all a big round of applause. I hope that everyone realizes that this day would not be possible without the sponsorship of all of the folks that I've just mentioned, but we also do have some businesses and organizations that have generously donated to the success of this event. So please give a round of applause to HP Hood, Praise Farmers Market, and WB Mason. So So on behalf of the committee, I would like very much to ask a favor of everyone who is here today. When you are out and about in the community and you're making choices as to where to spend your money, and then when you're just out and about, if you would kindly thank the businesses that are here today because they dedicate their professional careers to providing services for you. So give them the opportunity, give them a thanks. Appreciate that. Behind every great event, and this one is one of those, we have a super committee. So I would like to introduce the committee members, and if you all could give them a howdy or a round of applause, however you want to do that, that would be great. This year we have Maria Alexander and Patty Colleen from the Senior Citizens Council. There you go, now we got some fire. Sally Garvey from Clinton County Office for the Aging. Julie Stalker and Betsy Hero from JCEO. Debbie Alexander and Paul Adams from the Senior Citizens Council Nutrition Program. And Claire Marcello is also here as a student intern. Now, I do want to say that Paul is not here on stage. He is working diligently to prepare lunch for us. So when you see him downstairs in the lunchroom, would you kindly give him a thank you? Because he has been up since before the chickens were crowing, the roosters were crowing this morning on the prairie to make lunch for everyone. So we appreciate that. And I'm also part of the committee, Lori Marvin from Meadowbrook Healthcare. No, howdy? Okay, I see where this is going. I got this. So we also have a booth in the back that's outside the hallway over by the breakfast area. And this is a booth that we have dedicated to the seniors who are 90 years and over. Now that's a huge milestone, and I think that all of them should be recognized. So are there any 90 plus seniors in the room right now? All right, would you please stand? If you cannot stand, would you just wave and give us a little acknowledgement? We are so grateful for you. It is amazing, and you are just heroes in this room. We look up to you for all that you do and the activity level that you are at. That's amazing. So please visit the booth. Betsy is back there. Well, she's on stage now, but she'll be back there later. And we have some nice gifts and treats for you. So thank you very much. At this time, I'm going to turn the stage over to Julie Stalker. She is going to present some awards. I'll be back up periodically during the day to hound you. But here is Julie. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. I always get to do the pristine honor of saying our Business of the Year and our Agency of the Year. So this year, we would like to recognize Agency of the Year is going to Hospice of the North Country. Would you like to say a few words?
I have to belt it out. Okay, I'm from a big family. On behalf of our staff, patients we serve, louder? Okay. On behalf of our agency, our staff, but most importantly, the patients and the families that we serve. Those of you in the community that contribute because you believe in what we do. Hospice is not a place, it's people. Thank you very much for being those people.
Thank you. I have to stand in one place. I have to remember that. I'll be making it all feel like I'm about to happen. Okay. The Business of the Year award this year goes to We Care Transportation. John and Grace. Thank you. Would you like to say a few words?
On behalf of Lee and I and all our staff, we'd like to thank everyone for a good last 3 years, and we hope to keep providing the same service in the next many years. It's been a great time, and we're really excited about this award. We didn't know where it is. It's really nice. We work with hospice and other agencies, and they've been really awesome also. Thank you again.
All right, so that is the official presentation and welcome this morning. Sorry, we get a little feedback up here. We don't really have any set program at this point. We have the senior serenaders that will be entertaining us. Please take an opportunity to visit all of the vendors. They are here for you. If you have not purchased your lunch tickets, please do so, and I'll be back up periodically to give you some housekeeping notes and some other things. So thank you very much, and enjoy the entertainment and visiting the vendors. We appreciate it.
It's not very often we get to talk to the business people of the year, but we fought through the crowd to get these two. What's your name, young man?
John Babby.
And?
Aletha Vanderwill.
Aletha or Elisa?
Aletha.
Aletha. I've never met an Aletha before.
I know, me either.
First time for everything.
I've met a lot of Johns, though.
Oh, yes. Good and bad, right?
Well, John, I assume you're all retired from the correction department?
Yeah, 5 years now.
All right, now what's this week here all about?
No, it's a little company we started up shortly after I retired. Came from the idea my mom was sick and had to go to the doctors a lot. Like every day she had cancer, so my dad couldn't bring her anymore. So I started bringing her, and I said it'd been nice if there was a service I could take, to the Plattsburgh, the Cancer Center, or Burlington. And so we started out with one van about 3 years ago, and it's turned into we're running 7 vans and a couple of Medicabs right now. We cover Clinton, Essex, and Franklin counties. Mostly right now it's Clinton County, but we expanded into the other 2 counties.
Now, knowing John, he was probably thinking it'd be nice if I could make some money bringing my mother back.
Probably would have. No, I'm just kidding. He would have done it for free.
You did do it for free.
Yeah, he did. Absolutely.
Okay, so 7 vans and just 2 of you, so obviously you got to...
We have a fantastic team of drivers. We have 10 drivers,
Yeah.
and we have clerical staff. It's we're very busy. We run from 4:30 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night, sometimes later depending on the trips and stuff, Very busy. We go 7 days a week if somebody needs to get to personal family reunions, weddings, funerals, etc. We do a lot of it on the weekends too. So it's not just medical. It's not medical too.
So I assume with the medical that insurances might pay part of that, or is it all come to the individuals?
Medicaid is the primary insurance that covers it for non-emergency transportation. The VA at some level, and we take VNA and Fidelis Care. So the other insurances don't cover non-emergency.
Okay, and things like going to a funeral or something like that isn't covered by insurance, I wouldn't assume.
No, they would just give us a call and we could, set up arrangements, give them pricing information. You can give us a call at 651-7499. We can give you any information you need.
651?
651-7499.
Sounds like a cell phone. I'm not aware of...
Yeah, it is. It's
Actually, it's a cell phone. Very busy cell phone.
But where do they find you if they can't remember that number? Do you have a website or a Facebook page?
We have a Facebook page. You just put in We Care Transport Service. We are physically located at 2348 Military Turnpike in West Shazy. We're right on the Military Turnpike. You'll see all our vans parked in the parking lot. Well, not during the day, but in the early evening you will. So the best way to reach us is through Facebook or on the telephone.
Okay, have you ever had all 7 vans out there and somebody called and you need help?
Yeah, that's happened several times.
Yes.
More lately.
Really?
This time for another van.
Another van?
Another car.
Van number 8 is in the process right now.
Yeah, it's gotten really busy over the last, 6 months or so. It seems it's really picked up a lot. We do stretchers, wheelchairs. We do like a taxi cab service, Medicab, in an ambulatory status, where the ambulatory status is where help the person into the house, and then to get them from the house into the van, into the doctor's appointment in case they fall. Some people are tipsy on their feet, so we help them into their appointment.
Well, yeah. To be a driver here, you've got to be
fairly physically fit.
Yeah, because you're helping someone else that, you know, that you may have to catch or help them. I mean, I've got this older woman once, she was way up in the back of Line Mountain in a slippery driveway, and they didn't shovel getting to their house, and it was pretty slippery, and she fell, and I couldn't catch her and hold her, but I did guide her to the ground, and I went to the ground, but nobody got hurt. But if I wasn't there, she could have maybe fell and broke her hip. Who knows? You know, I don't know.
Good old John. He won't catch you, but he'll guide you to the ground. Now that's service.
Yeah.
You don't get that kind of service with everybody.
We would have never known the need out here when we first started this. We had no idea. We figured 1-2 vans. It's just, you know, every week we were getting more customers calling and they need to get there. You know, we're very busy, and we try to fit everybody in, and it usually works out pretty good, you know.
I mean, there's people that live in the middle, you wouldn't even believe where some people live. I mean, the Department of Social Services used to call and say, look, we have this lady, the county bus or First Transit, can't get to them. It's over a mile off their route. She's way up in the border on a back dirt road. I say, hey, as long as the van can get on the road and go and it's open, it's not so I can go get her, you know. So, I mean, you'd be surprised. A lot of people haven't been to the doctor in years because they couldn't.
We love what we do. We do.
How big a staff do you have? With 7 vans, that sounds like you got at least 5
Actually, about up to
employees.
12 drivers, 12 drivers, and
drivers,
a couple of staff
including
in the office.
John. John's out there. He drives too. He still loves to
I
do
fill
that part
in
of the
there
job.
and we'll just-
Yeah.
When it gets real busy, I'll fill in, or
He
somebody
finds
gets
people to
sick.
talk.
Or,
Talk to, you know. He's got to entertain someone during the day.
it's bored in the office.
So you're in the West Shazy address. Is that the town of Beekmantown that you're?
Actually, we're right by, you know, the old Wesleyan Church and the new Wesleyan Church.
Yeah.
We're just past that about a mile on the same side. Right across from the North Country Doors. And the old Walt Bull used to have I think it was Walt, had a place there for the campers, big building there. We're just right on the bend, right across the street.
That's probably town of Beekmantown then.
Yeah, it's
West Shazy
right,
Yeah, it's right on the cusp.
Beekmantown doesn't have a post office.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
West
exactly.
Shazy or Plattsburgh, and that's
Right.
a West Shazy address.
Yes, yeah. Right before the Rooster Market there,
Red
that was
Rooster?
David, yeah, the Red Rooster. I guess.
Right.
That's the one. Yeah, we're right before that.
He got room in that barn.
I know it.
Could have put you guys in there too.
I talked to David over and park in his barn. He's got a lot of room. Yeah, so well, that's where we are for now. We're looking for another location, a little bigger office space, but for now we're there.
So families or individuals want more information, they can give you guys a call.
Yeah, it's
651 number.
7499. Yeah, they call us to that number. There's after hours it'll prompt you to hit the different numbers on the keypad and just to get to us. And
But it's non-emergency though, right? If you have an emergency, call 911.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some people do that
Don't
also.
call John.
No.
And we've had those calls. We're
Yeah.
like, no, hang up right now and call
I just have to ask
911.
them, are you having chest pain, or if they have a sore foot and it hurts a lot, that's different. But when it comes, I'm not a doctor, you know, so I can't make. A lot of times sometimes they have to call 911 because we're not responsible, you know, for that type of transport. So they have to go by ambulance.
But so in the middle of the night, they don't call you guys.
No.
Just on your hours you gave, and but 7 days a week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything else that I should be smart enough to ask you?
No, I think you've covered it
You
all.
touched it all, Calvin. I think you
You
did
did a good
everything.
job. Thank you.
That'd be a first. Oh, by the way, I got Judy running the camera. There.
I
Did you
see
recognize that camera
Yes,
person there?
I know it. You got another cameraman. Where'd you get rid of
woman.
You got rid of Bill Chase. Now you got Judy.
She's no Bill Chase, but she'll.
Well, she'll do, right?
All right, hit the off button there, Judy.
Thank you.
She can't hear us, so we're.
Thank
We're going to continue with our award winners here. Where's your? Oh, you got it sitting right there in front. Very nice. I see you in church once in a while.
Oh, it's a good thing, isn't it? Yeah. Good place to be seen. You're going to be seen in the community, right, Calvin?
That's right. Now, did either you folks know Hal Myers, when the man who originated all this?
Yes,
Father Hal Myers?
I met Father Hal Myers, I want to say many, probably as he was leaving and, leaving the community. But he started what grew to be a tremendous resource for the community. Yeah.
It's hard to imagine right now not having hospice in the community, isn't it?
Yes, it truly is. What we provide to those who want to care for their loved ones, be supported for their care, be it at home, nursing home, adult facility, wherever they are, we're able to respond. We respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so that we can provide that real support and link to the physicians who will prescribe what people need for their comfort at home.
And, you know, nobody wants to get to that point where you hear those words, hospice has been called in, but when you're called in, that family is really relieved that you're there, aren't they? They're just, you know.
I know exactly what you're saying because you can tell from the look on people's faces when you do walk through the door. You have to walk past that and focus on what do they need. Everything from pain management to the equipment that will help them to go out and get to a graduation, go fishing, do the things that are important for their lives. It's only then, I think, that our reception changes when we walk in the door. But initially, those are words that people don't choose to hear. And we know
it's
that.
Bad news.
Right. We know that. But Calvin, all of us know we can't change life.
That's right.
What we can do is make a difference. And that's our challenge, and that's what we try to do every day.
Now, just talked to the We Care people and talked about funding. Insurances cover a lot of what you do, and you also have a lot of volunteers too, don't you?
Yes, we do. The Medicare, the hospice benefit under Medicare, as well as all the insurers will cover hospice. If there is someone in our community who is virtually without any insurance, we will provide prorated care for them. We will assist them to file for whatever they need. And we have never been sorry about doing this for the times that it has occurred. One woman said to me that she didn't want to take anything from the government. I said, but you paid for it all your life in your taxes. We do, and it's there for us. So, however, the rising cost of drugs, equipment, even gas, does not really compensate for what we do receive. So we rely on our community. And I think it's important for people to know that whatever they give to our community stays. It doesn't go nationally anywhere. It is for those who are at the end of life in our North Country community, in our Plattsburgh, in Clinton County, or Northern Franklin County.
Now, how big a staff are we talking? You've got, like I said, many volunteers and some paid staff. How big a staff is there altogether? Our
volunteer staff can fluctuate because many of them do fly south for the winter time, as opposed to those of us who you will see in church on an icy morning. With respect to our paid staff, anywhere from 28 to 35 members. We do have nurses, for example, who work per diem. And we enlist their services when the census fluctuates, which it can. Our biggest challenge is those referrals that we could have received earlier, that were possible to receive earlier. A referral that turns into the patient leaving this world within 24 to 48 hours. We haven't had the time to establish a trust relationship that patients and family need. Of course, we're going to do our job. We also provide bereavement care, which is not covered at all by any insurer or by Medicare. And that bereavement care extends to families for 13 months after the loss of their loved one. We also are available and have gone out to those in the community, even if we have not served their loved ones. So that's a really big part of what we do, as I introduced you to Sue, who's our bereavement counselor.
I believe that was, or maybe still is, Sister Mary Ann Gore's specialty was bereavement. Is she in bereavement?
Sister is our chaplain whose services are needed both in the Plattsburgh and in the Malone area, where she provides wonderful services to those in need.
Okay, and if people want to learn more, or either to volunteer or find out what services are available, how do they contact you?
At our Plattsburgh office, our Malone office, telephone numbers are on the website. I can give you the number. And I think, thank you for bringing that up, Calvin, because it's important for people to understand anyone can call and ask. We don't have to have the physician's office pick up the call. Anyone. We don't need to hear the name. Just tell us what's going on.
Details.
And we'll try to help you.
Okay, anything else, Joan, that we should know about?
Just again, our thanks, as always, for the community that has kept us flourishing and able to serve for the length of time that we have been here and been able to grow as we have.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to say your last name, Berthiaume.
Oh, you're really close. Joni is just fine. It's Berthiaume.
That's close.
Real close, yeah. You're really close.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Calvin. Always good to see you.
And we'll mention Sue McDonald there, too. Hi. Thank you. Now, when I grew up, I went to St. Mary's Academy in Champlain. You're familiar with Champlain?
Yes, I am. I'm from Champlain.
I knew that. And one of the priests came in one day and said his kids started talking to him on the street. And he wondered why. He says, well, the kid said, any friend of Zorro's is a friend of mine. So that's a 50s joke.
Wonderful.
And who are you?
I'm Deacon Patty Boharnwall. I'm the Deacon Vicar at Christ and St. John's Episcopal Church.
Now, just a few minutes ago, I was talking to the ladies from hospice about a person that you probably never met, Father Hal Myers, who is very much a part of hospice and very much a part of your church.
Absolutely, and we talked to him just recently. We've stayed in contact. He's doing very well.
Doing good?
He is. He really is.
Where is he these days?
Virginia area, but his main contact with friends up north. So.
Oh, great! Glad to hear he's doing well.
Yes.
Is he on Facebook or anything?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But I will let him know that you were talking about him, and that'll mean a lot. It really will.
Okay, we got Christmas Child Samaritan's Purse. What's that?
Yes. What it is people can pack shoe boxes that go to children all over the world, mostly impoverished nations or war-torn areas, and they pack simple little toys or school supply items, personal hygiene items. Many of the children just have never received anything like this, and in order to go to school, they have to provide their own school supplies. So this is a way to help them out. You'll see on the picture here as well that there are children in Haiti right after the earthquake received an influx of these boxes. Just help them get back on their feet, these families. So it's been a blessing to be a part of it. Church groups do it, but book clubs and other organizations also get involved.
Okay, now it says Christmas. Now, are these given out throughout the year or only at Christmas time?
Kind of. It starts in November. They start to be distributed, but it takes several months because it does go all over the world. So the aim is to get it towards Christmas time, but sometimes it does happen a little bit afterwards.
How many countries are you in?
Oh gosh, I'm not sure exactly. Possibly 30 to 40 countries. So it's definitely Europe and Asia, some even of persecuted nations as well. So it's a wonderful chance to just share a little bit about the love of God and love of neighbors, so that children know they're not forgotten, especially in the war-torn areas.
Okay, so it's not any particular, obviously Christian, but is it any particular denomination involved? Or?
No, any denomination, and other groups get involved as well. I mean, often it is church groups, but other groups, I know school projects, sometimes seniors have a program, or even at colleges, they'll get involved. So lots of different organizations help out with it. It's a good feeling, especially for kids, helping kids, to know that there's something they can do.
Okay, if people watching this would like to get involved, how do they do it? Who do they contact? Or
they can actually contact Rita Alford at the Assembly of God here in Plattsburgh, or myself, Deacon Patty Boharnwall at Christ and St. John's in Champlain. Those are 2 drop-off centers, and the drop-off month is November every year. So, but if they want more information, they could contact us and be happy to share, or even come to their organization and present a little more about it. I know Rotary, Kiwanis, and other groups have also been involved in the past, Lions Club.
Okay, now the individual doesn't have to necessarily fill the shoebox. If I'm looking at a pile of pencils here, let's say somebody, for some reason, ended up with a huge amount of pencils. So
Absolutely, they could donate so the items could be put into a shoebox. There's a lot of people that like to do some things like hand knitting or crocheting or sewing. Sometimes what they'll do is just knit a whole bunch of hats and mittens and donate it for the shoeboxes. So there's lots of ways to get involved. And that's simple because you can take scraps of yarn from home and scraps of fabric and make a nice gift, such as a bag or a toy for a child. So it doesn't even have to cost anything. You just use what you have and bless someone else with it.
anything else I should be asking you?
No, just thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share.
Okay,
Have
well,
a wonderful day.
I had to sneak in here because it was a non-stop crew of people coming through here. So we're holding you up here. You're not meeting potential people that help you out. So I'll get out of your way.
Thank you so much. It's been a blessing.
All right,
Thank you.
And we'll see you at the next Veterans event.
All right, wonderful. Look forward to it.
Thank you.
George Street. Keeping George on the street.
Oh, we're trying to.
He's good.
All right.
I like George.
Once in a while, people say, "Whatever happened to?" And here's one of the people they say that about. Whatever happened to Jim King, anyway?
Well, Jimmy is doing very well with my wife. I retired, from the county in 2005.
Emergency preparedness. What's the official title?
That was a title. It was, just a title.
Retired when?
In 2005.
Okay.
And still active with the fire department. Still mostly drive now. And I'm on the town board, town of All-Sable, and we're also involved in opening the old high school to become the civic center again for the community. Yeah, we're working.
And that's in Keysville.
Working very hard on that. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was a loss when that.
Oh my gosh.
So many agencies used that.
Yes, they did, and it was good for the community. So we also needed to use it for a disaster center because the fire department really, that's not their mission. To run a disaster center. The mission of the fire department, as you know, is to save lives and property, and lives come first. Consequently, when that closed, my wife had a disaster committee put together, and we were going to use the school. Well, the old civic center, it's closed, and that was put on, we have no place to go in our area. So, All-Sable Forks has really got a nice disaster center. So we are trying to resurrect the Civic Center to be a disaster center, as well as a civic center for the community. And the two town boards, Town of Chesterfield and Town of All-Sable, are rather committed to it. So we're in the process of doing it. But
which town is it in?
It's in the Town of All-Sable. But to us, it's kind of an imaginary line. You got to get away with that political stuff.
Right.
You got to do it. And I'm not. Calvin. I'm not. I try not to be political.
Yeah, you want to survive in your job.
I want to survive. And the thing is, I wasn't there for the politicians. I was there for the people. We were there, not me. Just the office was there for the people. And the office is doing a great job as we go along. But that's the biggest thing I miss is working with the county. That's a great people. The fire departments, EMS, and Red Cross, the towns, and yourself. Your operation, your activity, what you do, is fantastic.
Thank you.
Keeping the people aware of what's going on, because you're there for their safety as well and their well-being. And you don't get a lot of thanks for that.
Well, once in a while.
Well, once in a great while.
They used to tell me at St. Mary's, the reward's in heaven, right?
It is. That's very true. It is. I don't care what faith you allude to, it's always going to be there for us, It's fantastic. And St. Mary's, what a fantastic school that was. Fantastic.
And
for many years.
And a year and a few months ago, it went up in flames.
Oh, I know it.
Now
I know it.
Just a memory, but just time marches on.
That was the third time, right?
Well, that's small fires there.
Yeah.
This was nothing that they were all contained, so there's really no.
The one I went to in the 80s, it was caused by a steam pipe against some wood, And over the years, it kind of called paralysis and started on fire. But we were able to contain it down to the basement that day.
Yeah, that one in the
But that other one,
that was the very early 80s because my oldest son, who was born in '76, was in kindergarten.
it was in
And you get that call, you know,
Right,
school's
right.
on fire, and you get a
Right.
kindergartner there, you gets your attention.
Oh, it was, yeah, it was not a good day, I'll tell you. Not a good day, but you know, the senior citizens, what we're doing here, you know, these are, this is our past, our future is coming in, you know.
Sure.
And you know, these folks are fantastic, and try to give them quality of life or whatever, you know. And this is what the Senior Citizens Council is all about. And you know, you gotta keep everybody involved. Involvement is a big thing today. You just can't let them. You can't let them sit in a living room by themselves. That's not good for anybody, physically or mentally.
Right. You know, just on a personal note, in my house, my bedroom's upstairs. And personally, I'm glad it's upstairs because 3-4 times a day I've got to run up and down those stairs, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'd say to myself, you know, if I didn't,
That's right. It is so true. You got to keep these legs moving.
Yeah.
You know, I play golf, and I don't play very well, but I have a lot of fun doing it.
I see a pickleball flyer there. Do you play pickleball?
No, not yet. We haven't got pickleball, but that's one of the things we're going to put in the gymnasium
Is
to
the
keep us, because they have pickleball here.
Yeah.
Ah, really good, really good. So yeah, but I miss the firefighters. I see them, but not on the level I saw them before. I get all around, and the people are fantastic. I still work with the people of the town, and you know that's what we're here for. That's all government is for. It's for the people. It's not for the politicians. Sometimes they lose sight of that.
I often quote my late good friend George Cameron.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you knew George.
I knew George.
And he said, when they're running for office, they're public servants. Once they get elected, they're public officials.
I know. That's funny, isn't it? I don't know what the heck there is about it. But they think, oh my gosh. And it gets worse as you go up in the state government, then the federal government. Oh, I don't want to get into that. It's crazy.
I'm burned out.
Crazy today. It's crazy on that.
Yeah. But you're part of the Clinton County Senior Council here.
Yes.
Now that's the entity that runs this building here, isn't it?
Right, seniors. And Maria Alexander is the director.
Yeah.
And she has a board of directors. Mary's on the board of directors now, and it involves everyone in the county, nutrition sites, you know, everything, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, my brother Sam drives for the nutrition, the Meals on Wheels up in the Clinton, up in the Champlain, Rouse's Point area, and you know.
Oh, that Meals on Wheels. We must have something going here.
Oh, you gotta. He's still got his pager.
This is the third call we got.
For you? For your department?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we got, we have the pay crew now between Peru and Keysville.
For ambulance?
For ambulance. It works out very, very good, you know. Remember when Kenny LaPlante did that for Champlain, you know. Kenny and I, fantastic person. And we put, we were all on the Mountain Lakes EMS committee together, council together. So we put ours in, and cause I had to get change municipal law for gosh sakes, because the fire district wanted to enter into a contract with the hospital. We couldn't do it.
Really?
Yeah. So it took 2 years, the state government grinds slowly. And then Kenny, I'm going to do this. So he did. He did the same thing for Champlain, and now Moores is in it.
Yeah.
And they're all
brand new building.
Yes. And then the response is quicker. The volunteers do a great job, and they do the best they can, But in the EMS world, you've got to have response in a timely fashion. I'm not saying fire isn't as important, but lives come before buildings. So my lives come before buildings. So you need to be out the door in under 5 minutes with an ambulance call. Priority 1 ambulance call, you need to be out the door. And you can't do it because times have changed. Generation has changed. So you don't have a lot of people working in the community anymore that can respond. You had Ken LaPlante stays when you had Champlain Laundry going. You know, his people could go.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
you know, and you had Harris Graphics.
yeah,
You
I
know,
was just thinking that.
you could go.
Yeah, he refused to talk to me. He's over there in the corner. But 50 years ago this week, I started at Sheridan Ironworks, which became Harris Graphics. And Joel McRae over there was my first partner at work, and he refused to talk to me today. So he's known me for 50 years, so you can understand why he wouldn't want to talk to me. But anyway, at Sheridan or Harris, the alarm would go off, and certain guys would leave. And if it's a 2-alarm, another group would leave.
Right.
And it was with Jack Zerlo as the superintendent of the operation. There was never any question. Look at all the money you're making here.
He's making the money.
There was never any question that those guys were going to go.
Right.
But
And Harris didn't mind that.
no.
No. We had the same thing with Prescott's Mill and all that stuff. But when that went down, you know, they just weren't around.
Yeah, people aren't in town
And we
anymore.
don't. And now, and it's so, you know, EMTs are not just basic anymore. They you know, when you roll up, they expect you to do, you know, because those television shows have showed all this stuff that could happen. Well, you have to have training for that,
Oh yeah.
and consequently, it takes a lot of hours. You come, it's 200. It's 280 hours. Basic plus advanced is 280 hours.
That's 7 weeks of 40 hours a week.
Yeah, you haven't put a call in yet.
Yeah.
And that's for zero money, no compensation. You know, I mean, the days of volunteerism are fine, but the days of free volunteerism are coming to an, you know, it's being shortened because people can't take that out of their personal lives because they need to earn money for their families, for themselves.
Well, we're fortunate that evening we're still volunteer up in Champlain.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
And, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever,
That's
these guys
right.
are crawling out
They
of bed.
do the best. That's right. But you need, in that interim, you need to have someone respond. You can't be laying on the floor for 25, 30 minutes having some sort of a problem.
Waiting for, you know, in Champlain, waiting for an ambulance from Plattsburgh to come.
Well, you're going to be non-salvageable, which is you're not going to make, you're not going to survive. So that's what the county is working towards, and hopefully it'll be achieved in the near future of having, you know, when it first started, the paid service had a negative sound to it, but it's not negative. It's a positive thing for the people requiring the assistance. You know, it's not taking away anything from the volunteers.
No.
Not taking
And they're
anything
getting
away from
fewer
the
and
volunteers.
fewer all the time.
And you can't help it. They can't help it.
Right.
They got to make a living for themselves and their family. In fact, a lot of our volunteers became paid people on the EMS squads. So now they're doing what they love,
Right.
only they're getting compensated for it. What's wrong with that?
And they'll go home to their home community, and at night they'll go out for free.
That's right. Yeah. But the free, you bet. It's a good question. Free. It's not really. Nothing's ever free.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Nothing ever free, and that was always a misconception to the folks out there. You know, here we go again. Oh my gosh. I got
to let you go.
I got it on. I'm not going. She'd kill me if I went. I've done that before.
The next one would be for you.
Yeah, I've done that before. I've walked out of the restaurant before and left her, and I'm boing. I'd run over to the fire station. Where are you going? Left her with a bill and no money. Oh,
No money in the bill. Well,
Oh my God.
that must have worked out good.
Oh yeah. Well, they were local North Country Club, so we go back and pay them the next day or whatever. You know. Then she had to go to the fire station. Well, no, I ran over the fire station, so she still had the car.
I hope you left her the keys. too.
Yeah. Oh, I've left her in a lot of spaces. I've like church, boom, gone. You know? Yeah. Well, anyway, it's all good.
Okay,
It's
so
all
I'll
good.
say hello to George Rivers for you.
Oh yeah, he's
All
a
right.
great guy, great person, good friend of mine. You know, we traveled many trails together.
Okay.
Many trails.
All right, good talking with
All
you,
right,
Jim King.
Calvin.
Take care.
Nice talking to you, sir.
Same here.
God bless you.
Okay.
Take care.
We are going to wrap up this portion. Our thanks to Gordy Little for doing the first 29 minutes and 42 seconds of this program today. He and his wife Kay are down in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, somewhere where it's even warmer than it is up here. We're enjoying a nice 65-degree day here in the North Country on this May 6th. And as Judy runs the camera and pans around, you can see there's a lot of vendors here. And a lot of them have free stuff. So when you come, you can take home a souvenir if you're a senior. And a lot of folks who deal with the seniors and their families are here, and the business community is well represented. We don't have time to chat with all of them, but we do appreciate the folks that we did chat with. And we're going to bid adieu to this year's senior celebration and remind everyone that it's almost always that first Friday in May. And the facility we're at is the former Seton Catholic Central School on North Catherine Street, or just off North Catherine Street, or off Court Street, depending on which, or Brinkerhoff, I guess, depending which direction you're coming. So if you're looking to come next year, if you're going to become a senior next year, feel free to put this on your calendar. The festivities are free. If you want to eat, there's a small stipend for the meal. Outside of that, you can just come and enjoy the day if you're on a tight budget and don't want to spend anything. So that's going to wrap it up. Hometown Cable, viewer-supported local television, Hometown Cable. And we've been coming at you from the 2016 Senior Celebration in beautiful downtown Plattsburgh. My thanks to Judy Castine for running that camera for the last hour and a half.